Okay, let's try and put this all together with some stuff we've done before. Remember, roll the log. So I'm going to make this 2 to the negative 1/2 is equal to x. So that becomes 1 over 2 to the 1/2 is x. So x is 1 over root 2. And let's just simplify here. Get rid of that irrational denominator. So I get x is root 2 over 2. All right, now we got a log equation here, but if you notice, this left side here applies directly to rule number 1 that we learned. So I'm going to take this plus out and get it into one log and multiply these two numbers together like rule number 1 says. That's going to give me log base 4 of x times x minus 2, and that's all going to equal log base 4 of 3. Well, we've been in this situation before. We got our bases the same, and we have an equation. So what must be true here is that these two numbers must be equal. So x times x minus 2 has to equal 3. So x squared minus 2x. And then let's subtract 3 here. And then we'll factor. And I'm getting that x could be 3 or negative 1. Now remember, when we learned about logs, we talked about how both of these numbers here had to be positive. This number has to be positive also. So if you put in negative 1 in for x, you're going to get negatives there. So we got to throw that out. How about putting in 3? That's okay. And 3 here gives me a 1. That's perfectly fine. So x equals 3 is my answer. All right. So I would recommend that you maybe give this one a try by yourself, and then you just pause this and then come back and see what you get for the answer. I'll go ahead and work it out also. I'm going to bring the 2 in as a power. And I'm going to do the same here. 2 comes in as a power, so that gives me 4 squared, which is 16. And nothing else, no other powers to come in there. All right, so I have log of x squared. And I'm going to take and move this over here. I'm going to make it minus log 6 over here. So I'm subtracting log 6 from both sides. So over here I have equals, and I just see a mistake I made. I brought this in, but then left it there also. I don't want to do that. Okay, so yeah, that's log 16. Okay, so now these two are going to be multiplied. So I have one big logarithm, and I'm going to have 16 times 15, and then minus log 10 means to divide by 10. Minus log 6 means I'm going to be dividing by the 6 also. Now you may want to work that out in a couple more steps if you're unclear, but I'm doing a few steps together there. All right, let's simplify this. I can put 5 into 10 twice and into 15 3 times. And then 3 goes into 3 once. Goes into 6 twice. 2 times 2 is 4. That goes into 16 4 times. So I'm ending up here with log x squared on the left equaling log 4. So that means that x squared has to be 4. And when I square root both sides, I end up with x is plus or minus 2. Now again, I can't have a negative here, so I'm going to have to throw out the negative 2, and my final answer is just going to be that x equals 2. Okay, and we got one more slide here. This is just a few problems for a little bit different application.